Hi, my name is Jason Reynolds. I'm an account manager here at Soundbox Productions with a focus on House of Worship. What is the purpose of audiovisual in worship? Well, quite simply speaking, audio. If you can't hear, then naturally that's a problem. And visual, we've found that in the past few years, throughout COVID and now into the post-COVID era, that the visual side of the worship experience has become very important because most churches are now streaming their services. The key is to have a distraction-free environment inside the sanctuary that allows people to focus on worship. And part of that is having great sound, but also a great visual experience, projecting lyrics so that they can sing along and be a part and engaged in that worship experience. Also having good lighting so that your video is good to your stream, having good cameras. So audiovisual plays a very, very important part in worship. What AV needs does a house of worship typically have? So we touched on it a little bit in the last question, but at the very root of it, a good audio system that covers all the seats. The idea is you want to have a consistent experience in all the seats so that everybody is engaged in worship. A distraction-free audio environment. So, you don't want to have a lot of feedback, distortion, anything that might translate to the human ear as being unpleasant. You want to have a pleasant audio listening experience. We find more and more nowadays that churches are requiring more and more inputs. They're having bigger bands, bigger choirs. So an audio console that can accommodate a larger number of inputs is important. On the video side, with the need for streaming, definitely good quality cameras, a good quality video switcher, good lighting so that your video looks good. These are all things that typically a worship experience would require. How much does an audiovisual installation cost? That's a difficult question to answer because here at Soundbox we don't necessarily have cookie cutter solutions. Every client is treated with the utmost care and we take our time to develop a solution that is right for you, and we can work with any variety of budgets. So don't hesitate to give us a call. The idea is we want to see what your needs are and what type of gear we can find to fill those needs at the budget that you have. How do I figure out what my audiovisual needs are? Well, that's easy. If you reach out to us, we sit down with you. We're going to ask you a few questions. We're going to learn how you do church and what's important to you. And then we can align what type of gear and what kind of equipment you need that aligns properly with your vision for what you want to accomplish through your worship experiences. Should I stream worship services? I think if COVID taught us anything, is that you should definitely consider streaming your worship services. Not only if we were to have another situation where people are unable to gather, but think about the impact that you can have outside the four walls of your church. I can guarantee you that there's somebody sitting at home right now that knows somebody that comes to your church, but they're not in the building. What better way to introduce them to your church, how you do church, than to invite them to watch your stream? And then eventually they may come to the building, eventually they may not, but streaming is important. What will I need to run my audiovisual system? If you break it down to its simplest form, you need people. You need people who are willing to be committed, to be on time, to be there every week, but also who are willing to learn. We will train them. We will help them get to a place where they're comfortable in running the equipment that you purchase. And we'll always make sure that our solutions cater to the level of your volunteers. So that's quite frankly all you need is volunteers. How long does it take to complete an audiovisual install? Typically, most installs can be completed in the week, Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday. So you won't have to close on a Sunday, miss services. However, here at Soundbox, what makes us unique is that we also have a division of the company that is a full service production company. So if there is an instance where we cannot complete your install before the next Sunday, we'll be more than happy to provide you with an audiovisual temporary solution for your service to get you through a Sunday. How often would we need to overhaul our audiovisual system? I can't speak for everyone in the industry, but here at Soundbox, we want to make sure that we provide you with a solution that's cutting edge. And you really should be looking only to maybe overhaul or replace that system around 10 years. There are obviously components within that system that have a shorter shelf life, maybe things that are driven by computers that we know how computers go. Maybe every 3 to 4 years, you may need to replace some components of that system. But in terms of a full overhaul, you should be looking at a minimum of 10 years if you make the correct investment. How does audiovisual help outside of worship time? We're finding more and more nowadays that churches are opening themselves up to a lot of extracurricular, quote unquote, activities outside of their normal Sunday or Saturday worship. One of the things we find is that some people will rent their facility for corporate meetings during the week. Having a cutting edge audiovisual system and a good quality streaming system would open you up to that possibility. Things like podcasts, being able to record podcast Bible studies internally and be able to put those online or stream those live is also something that could be a benefit outside of your regular Sunday or Saturday worship. What do I do if my AV system isn't working? Well, that's a great question. And in fact, that's one of the things we pride ourselves on here at Soundbox. Our support, after sales support here at Soundbox, is second to none. And I know this might sound a little salesy, but to be honest, it's the truth. One, we do have a full service, quite large production company. That's a division of the company. So we have a large touring audio company as well as a lighting company and video company. So we can support you. That's ultimately the deal. If anything were to go down, not working, we have loaners that we can give you temporarily. We have a full service tech team that can repair those items if they can be repaired. And we also provide full warranty on anything that we sell and install. So our service is second to none, and I believe that we're best positioned to support you.